Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing we'll be trying to do tic-tac-toe. All right. So I'll be doing it using P5.js. You could also use processing, as you hopefully know, but it shouldn't really matter which one you use. All right. Let me get started. Okay, perfect. Let me put this over here somewhere. Maybe lower it down a little. Okay, awesome. Let me stop it and start it again from here. Move this, refresh here. Awesome. We've got a little bit of scroll. Let's just pull it up a little bit. Awesome. So let's get started. Why can't I minimize this? This should do it. Okay, awesome. And I'll make this a little bit smaller. Okay, I think you can see everything. Yeah, it seems like you can. Awesome. So, let's go to the whiteboard and let me go through what I'm thinking right now for the tic-tac-toe, right? So we will have the sketch, the canvas. We'll need to, and we'll say that the canvas will be square, right? It'll be a 1 by 1 aspect ratio. So what the first thing we'll need to do is divide this canvas, which is some amount of pixel by some amount of pixel, to 3 by 3 rows column, right? So we'll firstly need to do this, right? So like this. I know mine right now on this is not square, but it doesn't matter. Let's think of it as a square. So first thing is we need to separate into a grid of cell, right? We could call this the board, right? So yeah, so the board should be equal to an array of array, right? There'll be an array of 3 elements, which will be, each of them will be arrays, which will also be of 3 elements. So this should be our board. Now, whenever we click on the canvas, we should on mouse pressed. So on mouse press, this isn't a heart. This is just parentheses open, parentheses closed. I have some difficulties with my finger today, so in any case, so let me also just make sure that you don't have any kind of, should be fine, but hopefully, okay, it's fine. All right, so on mouse press, we should check which square you clicked on, right? So find square or find cell, right? Whatever it is. Find cell with the mouse position, and then when we find the cell from our board, we can just check if the cell is occupied, right? If the cell is occupied, then we return early. Otherwise we just assign the cell, right? All right, so that's pretty much the principle on how to do the drawing part of it and defining which cell. We'll also have the concept of like the player, so which player it is, and depending on which player it is, it'll either assign it with an X. I was thinking of just using like strings, like X in string, right? So X, and using, I don't know, O, lowercase o for circles. So we can just define one element of that board, as being a string, either X or O. Yeah, and we'll have the concept of player, right? Player will be changed every time we. I can write it here, right? Change player. So we change the player after we're finished with the mouse pressed event. What else? We need. So after pressing the mouse or after assigning the cell, whichever one we choose. It could be either, it doesn't really matter. So after assigning the cell, after, I'm sorry for the, I don't know where this is coming from. Try to remove it, but it doesn't seem like it wants to be removed. Oh, there you go, reactions. Now it should be fine, right? Okay, yeah, okay, sorry. All right, so after assigning the cell, right? Check for when tie. I think tie is just TIE. We'll see. Win, tie, or lose. Well, we'll not do lose because it'll be like you won, the X one or the Y or the O one, whichever one it is, right? So check for either win or tie based on a grid. So we'll just do, I think we'll just do it manually, right? We'll have one possibility, two possibility, three possibility, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? We should have 8 possibilities for winning. So, right, either all of those. Well, one row is the same player, or one column is the same player, or both diagonals. One of the two diagonals is the same player, right? So that's pretty much the whole game, and then we can stop anything from happening after this. So let's get started on this. Let me. All right, so it seems like my OBS just had some kind of issues for whatever reason it wanted, and it stopped refreshing the screen I was showing. So as frustrating as it may seem, I'm just going to redo what I just did, and we'll get to it, right? Yeah, sadly. In any case, yeah, let me remove everything. All right, so we started from here. I don't need this config value anymore. Yeah. Okay, so like we said, we assume the width and height are the same. We first need to draw the lines, right? Let's create a function for that, right? A function for show board. Well, we first need a board, so never mind. Let's create a board. So we'll have this variable board, which will just be an array, like we said. So it's going to be an array of arrays. So we need to create those arrays, right? For let x is equal to 0, and we know like both arrays will have a length of 3, right? So that's that, right? X plus plus, awesome. And now we'll do board index x is also equals array. And we'll firstly initialize all of the value with null. Yeah, so whenever the cell is not occupied, it'll just be null. So for let y is equal to 0, y is less than 3, y plus plus. Okay, awesome. Now let's initialize both. Well, let's initialize just the cell, I guess. Equals to null. Well, it's going to be uninitialized. And let's create a function to just draw the board now. So function, let's call it show board. Okay, awesome. We'll start with the background. We don't want to like draw on top of something. It would just not look good. All right, so we have the background. Let's call also this function at the end of setup. Okay, great. So now we just need to know the length of one cell. So I'll call that size, right? Size. So, and we know one is a third of the canvas width or height, right? Again, expecting the value of width and height to be the same. So size would just be either one of them, either width or height divided by 3, right? Awesome. So with the size, we can just do a for loop 2 times, right? Because we only have 2 lines per either row or column, right? We only have 2 lines. So let I be equal to, and let's start at 1 because let's do 0 and explain well, I'll be changing it to 1 eventually. But right, if we were to do this, it'll do 3 iterations of the loop, right? So I'll be starting at 1, and this will also help us when drawing those lines, right? So we'll set the stroke to be white, just because we have a dark background, so it'll be easier for us to see. And we can even set the stroke weight to maybe something like 5. Sure, that should be fine. So let's do the column lines, right? The vertical lines. So it'll be only the x should change, the y should always be 0 and height, right? For the y. y1 should be 0, y2 should be height. X1 and x2 should be the same value every time, which is going to be I times the size that we have. So, and that should be the same for both. All right. And we'll do the line while we're at it, the line, the horizontal line, which should be starting from 0 for the width, doing this for the height, and the width of the canvas, and then this, right? So right now we got our grid. That's good. That's good. We got the board. Now I'm going to create a variable for the player, just to get like the player constant, something like that. Let me close this some way. Does this? Yeah, that works. Okay, let's do const player, and this should just be like an object with like xpx and obo, right? That should be all that I need for this. Okay, and we'll set also a variable for the current player. I'll just call it player. Maybe not the best name, but that's what I chose. And I'll start with the X player. Okay, awesome. So now let's draw also those values, right? So the board values, the cell values are going to be strings, either this string or this string. So I'll be doing, I'll just be drawing them as text for right now. So sure. So I'll be copying this loop, putting it right here, removing this. This we will keep just in the clipboard. Okay, we'll do, like we said on the board, on the whiteboard, we said if this is uninitialized, in this case null, we'll just continue to do to the next cell. Oh, well, we said that for the mouse press, but I guess the same apply for this, right? We don't want to draw anything if the cell hasn't been clicked or used, right? Otherwise, we'll just do a text at, whoa, okay, a text at, which will contain that text, that string, at, sorry, I'm just thinking, the x should be x plus 1, right? Because I don't want it to start at 0, because 0 will be just too far away, times the size divided by 2, right? And the y should be pretty much the same thing, but for y, I believe. I mean, we will definitely see if that's right eventually when we get there. All right, so let me just, otherwise it's difficult to just read this code. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we got the drawing of everything. Now let's do the mouse pressed function. We're back where I was whenever I noticed that it wasn't working now. So mouse pressed, right? What do we want to do in here, right? Find the cell, right? So we need to figure out which cell it is, which we can use, so const x should be either 0, 1, or 2, which is just the indices of the board for the x. And so we'll use the mouse x value divided by the size that we have. And we'll just round down, so we'll just floor everything just to make sure. And we'll do y. So we got the, we got the cell now, index at least. Now we need to say, we check if the cell is occupied, right? So we'll basically use this if statement that we had here. Okay, great. So if this is set, we can just return, return early. No, if it is not null, right? We can just return early. If it is null, then we can set the value for this. So we can say something like this equals player. And then we can do player equals, and then we can check which player we're currently on. Player index, well, no, player equals player dot x. And if that's the case, then we want player dot o. Otherwise, we want player dot x, right? All right, so we update the player after playing, and then afterwards we'll need to check the win condition. All right, so let's try it out. It's not working. Cool. Let's take a look at here. Just refresh. Oh, you know what? I'm not refreshing the display, right? We need to call showboard after updating it. Duh. Showboard again. Okay, so if I, okay, so we can see values, right? Okay, that's good for the first one. Let me think. I just need to multiply it by should I just start at 0, whatever that is, and then add half the size at the end? Right? If I do this, I need to multiply by more than this, right? I need to multiply by the size. That makes sense. Yes. Okay, great. Great, great, great. I'll do the text size. I don't remember, but we'll use our friend Google, P5 references. We'll do text. I should be able to find text size. Text size. Is it just an integer? What is it? Okay, so let's do text size. Maybe we can do it in here. That's fine. Text size, maybe, I don't know, maybe like, let's do 50. I don't know what that will give us, but that's pretty fine. I mean, they're not centered just because it's not drawing the text based on the center of the characters, right? Based on the center of the text, but it's fine. Let me do them a little bit bigger again. They will be even less in the center of each square, but that's fine. I can do text align center, right? Text align. Is it center like this? I have no clue. It is. And I'll just move them down a little bit by 50 by 25. Okay, now they are in the middle, so that's good. Okay, cool. Now we're done pretty much. We just need to find the win condition or the tie condition. The tie condition is just that there's no space left and we haven't win, right? But if we win and we stop there's nothing else to do. So let's not do even the tie condition. They won't be able to play anymore once it's tied, so it doesn't matter. Let's do let 1 be equal to null, and whenever it'll be 1, it'll be one of two values, right? It'll be either x player.x, player.o, right? And I'll do if 1 is not equal to null, then return early. Okay, good. Should still be playing the same. Okay, great. Now I want to see if I click outside in here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just do like if this, well, if x is greater than 2 or if y is greater than 2 as well, just return. It's because you clicked outside. Right? If I click here now, it doesn't give us any errors. Okay, so we're good now. We just need to check the win condition. So how do we do that? Let's do a function called check, or check win state. Sure, it's fine by me. Let's go over here, function, check win state. So what do we need to do in here? We need to check for each column and for each row if there's any of those that have the same exact character, same exact player, right? Let me just run it through my mind. So I'll just do for let I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus plus, and I'll do, so it won't show like a line on the specific win column, row, or diagonal. It'll just tell you you won. You can implement that. You can do like, instead of win being like, it could be like win being an object, and it should just be like x, y, well, just be like the column or the row, whatever it is. Right, so we can do grid index, not grid, sorry, board index I, index 0. So we can say like, so this would be for the columns. So we can say if board index I, does that make sense though? Let me think. So I'm looping 3 times, right? let me do that. So if this and this, we should just say equals, and then I cannot do this, but I'll just copy this one, for example, and this one is equal to this one, then that means when there is also the condition of which, so this will check I tac, but will it check tac should be, you know what, well, it should be, it should just be this, right? Shouldn't be more complicated than this, I believe. I think. Yeah, that's right, right? It should not be 0 all the time. I'm just going to hard code all of them. It's going to be easier for my head. So we can say let win be equal to. So now let's do the first column. We'll get this one out. Board index 0, since we're at the first x. And this should also be 0, right? Should be 0. We'll say if this equals, and now it should be 1, and this equals this 1, then it's a win. So we'll just put all of this in parentheses. We'll do or. Just copy this one, but it'll be for y1. And then y2. Okay, now we need to check the rows. Well, this was the rows, right? Yeah, those first 3 are the rows. This will be the columns. So it should be when x is 0 and y is 0, and then y should always be 0 in this case. Wait, this was the columns? How does that make sense? Oh, my head. Okay, so this one is the corner left. This one is middle top, and this one is the middle right. This one is the first middle, the middle, and left middle. This one's middle and first and middle and the end. So I need first start, and then I need, now I need the columns, right? So I need start, middle, and start, end. that make sense? I think it does. Let me remove this one for right now, just for me to do it. Okay, so this should not change. This is the one that changed. Right? Yes, that makes sense. Okay. All right, we're almost done, almost done. So this would be 2, 2, 2, and 2. And last 2 that we need to do is basically, this is the diagonal that is going like this. So it starts at 0, 0. It goes through 1, 1. And it ends at 2, 2. Second one start at 2, 0. That makes sense. And then it needs to be the middle, so 1, 1. And then we said 2, 0, then that's fine. And then it should be 0, 2. Okay, so we're done with the win condition. So we can say if win, then 1 is equal to player. And then we can call showboard, or showboard gets called automatically. Okay, that's fine. So showboard should say like something like if 1, then draw text at the center of the canvas, which should be, the text should just be like the player that makes sense. Whoa. And this should go here, and this should be only done if 1 equals null. There's probably a better way to do all of what I did, but I'm currently fine with what I did for the moment, and I'll see if I want to change it. So the player 1 at width divided by 2 and height divided by 2 plus 25. Showboard, we'll do else, or we can like show the board actually, or no, well, yeah, no, I don't want to. Over here, all right. Okay, I think we're done. So if I say, well, that's an issue. You know what? I need to do something like, whoa, sorry for the sound. I need to do something like this, not equals null, and whatever rest we decided. Okay, so let me do this. Let me play it. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to play it over here. Okay, where am I going to do? Okay, over here. Okay, I'm going to block you. All right. Well, I'm going to play here, right? I got 2 space. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Hell yeah. That's it. So this was Tic-Tac-Toe. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you can play with your friends with it on this game. Check the description for the code. It will be on GitHub, and hopefully you can do like a better tic-tac-toe, right? Making more columns, more width, more or rows, right? You could do like different win condition where you have to do like, I don't know, where you can only win with the diagonals, right? Or whatever you want. Maybe draw the actual line of where the user won. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you liked the video, enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.